What's up, everyone? It's me, Monet. We're at Video Rewind, and we're at Harlem School of the Arts today with Kobie Brown, and we have just seen a pre-screening of his new movie. It's a documentary, and it's called
From Fatherless to Fatherhood.
And it was, I have to say that it was very inspirational.
Thank you.
I love so many different parts of the movie, but I do have a couple of questions about it. What was this a personal inspiration, or?
I think it was a personal inspiration because at some point, I think we all begin to think, what is our purpose here on life? And what is our purpose here? Meaning, it's not about just living, waking up every day, going to a job, getting the check, paying bills, buying clothes, making sure you look nice. I think, none of us know when we're going to be called home. So while we're here, I feel that, it's important to do something that's part of legacy, that's part of improving the world in which we live.
And it's definitely something that needed to be talked about. They don't even know what we're talking about. Why don't you give them a little bit of information about what the film is on?
The film basically explores the importance of fatherhood, specifically in the African American community, looks at some of the causes, some of the effects, and possible solutions to turning the corner on father absence. Of course, we're in a community where 64% of our children are being raised in households where the fathers are absent, and in order for us to prosper, in order for us to continue in the legacy that many of us are benefiting from, we will have to strengthen our families and strengthen our communities in order to strengthen our economy and the political power that we have as a people, and also to be greater contributors to society as a whole.
Right, and I think in the Black community, African American community, I think it's something that's not really talked about, not really discussed. If it is, it's in a negative way.
Yeah.
And I feel like I think this film did a really good job of shedding light on both the negative and positive aspects. I think that you touched on something that was, we had a little Q&A afterwards, and I think that you touched on the questions that people had about women who don't have fathers in their lives too. What made you explore that avenue?
Well, I think there's a tendency in our communities to avoid having discussions about those serious issues that impact us all. And a lot of times we see them as a badge of honor, or we say, my father wasn't around, F him, it's not important, we don't really need him. But what we're not doing by doing that is really dealing with the core of the issue. To answer your specific question, though, I think it's important to look at how it impacts our women, because women give us all lives. We all came here through a woman. Our greatest victories as a people have come through the struggles and the victories of women. You look at someone like Ida B. Wells and the role that she played in bringing about anti-lynching laws in this country. You look at someone like an Oprah Winfrey owning and producing her own television program. That's a personal story for me. I went to Morehouse College. We have a lot of classmates who were Oprah Winfrey scholars. So the number of black men that she's educated along the way.
Wow.
And like I said, again, all of us come from women. And in order to heal our families, we have to look at everyone in our community. We have to look at the impact of father absence on men, children, and women.
There was a section in the movie where there was a father who had two little girls, which was emotional for me, I will say, because I feel like the impact that fatherhood has on women, especially African American women, Latino women, in our lives, it's missing so much more. I grew up with my father and my mother in the households, but having friends who didn't, you could tell the difference. Like, you can almost meet someone now and know that just by speaking with them. Women, men, and so what do you? This was a platform, obviously, but what do you have next? What's next for this film?
What's next for this film is, I feel like this isn't a film like, let's say, a Friday or a Menace to Society, or it's not a it's a commercial film. It will be commercially available, but this film speaks more to an important issue. So it's important for me to share it with as many people in the community as possible. So we'll be doing as much touring as possible,
Okay.
and in the new year will be available. So if anyone wants to purchase the film and share it with others, they can.
And where do
You
they
can
do that?
visit from Fatherless to
Okay.
Fatherhood.com or visit the Facebook page, and I'll give you that information. And go ahead and make a pre-order and ultimately purchase it and share it with people in your family, people in your community, people who you feel that it's important to discuss fatherhood with. I mean, quite honestly, I think we should all be discussing it on a consistent basis, whether we feel as men that we're good fathers or not, whether we feel as women that it's important or not, because it's part of the family, and the family is a microcosm of the world at large, meaning that when you have a healthy family, or more healthy families, healthier communities, have a healthier economy, healthier world. And it all begins with something as basic as a family and a father being part of that fabric.
I, um, I find this very interesting, and I get a little stumbled because I have so many different questions that I would
Okay.
love to ask you, but I know we don't have that type of time. But I will. I just want you to once again let them know. You can get the film, purchase the film,
Pre-order the film
pre-order at Father
from Fatherless to Fatherhood.
from Fatherless to Fatherhood. It's also on Facebook. Can they find you on Twitter?
At To Fatherhood on Twitter.
And your name is Kobie
Kobie
Brown.
Brown.
So if you can't remember the title, always look up Kobie Brown, and you can get that information. But it's a very emotional and necessary film. So I hope you guys go and get it. And I thank you for taking this time
Thank
out
you for
to
having me.
talk with us here on Video Rewind. We'll be back after this, guys.
Take care. This is Kobie Brown.